All right, everybody. 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here on our Monday afternoon, and let's get an update on the tropics. We've got Invest90L kind of popped up over the weekend, something we've been watching on the models for a while, but out there in the far eastern Atlantic, way out there, it's a good week, probably 5-6 days before it even gets to the Windward Islands. Okay, so this thing is way out there, but chances of development are starting to come up just a little bit. You can see that we're basically looking at a 30% chance now as of this afternoon from the Hurricane Center. That's the chance for development, of course. Yeah, you know, good looking little convection area now. Nothing quite organized. You can kind of zoom in. We're losing the visible satellite data, but we still got the infrared stuff. But look, I mean, it's nothing really organized right now. You maybe even have a little low-level center here. This is where the Hurricane Center is seeing it. It's moving off towards the west at about 16 miles per hour, so it'll be out there for a while. Pressure right now is 1,010 millibars. That's real high. Nothing organized at this particular point, but Hurricane Center is saying, hey, look, this thing may develop. It's got about a 30% chance of doing it. And we're running models on this Invest, and you can see most of it, it's already run. You can see it's all moving off to the west. A lot of the modeling is doing this. A lot of it is suggesting that it does get just northeast of the islands by about the 28th or 29th, so about a week from now, okay, 6-7 days. And then a lot of it tries to bring it up here, get picked up by a trough, and recurve it. All right, so let me show you the GFS model, and really it's kind of tough to see here. I'll point it out when it stops right here. That's it by this Friday. But you see this here, and even that over there, that's more of an interest to me than this. But this one we have to watch first. That's 90L, okay? So let's go back out as we get to, you can see it kind of moving towards the windwards right there. Yeah, you don't see much. See, look at that. That's where it is. It's not this. It's this up in here. But there's some shear up in here. And it's going to run into a bunch of shear by the time it tries to make this turn. I think that's going to kind of limit this thing. And then eventually it's probably going to come up and intensify a little bit, probably offshore, which would be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. All right, so that's something that we'll keep an eye on. Let me show you a little bit better here. I want to show you over on the forecast models because where are we at here? Let me show you. It's a little bit easier to see here. You know what? Let me just make it big for you. This is the GFS model. Okay, so let's start with that. All right, GFS is showing a little bit of a low here. I'm going to point it out for you here in a minute. There it is, somewhere in here. Okay, that's Friday. Look at the Northeast Island. See it right there? That is Sunday night. This upcoming Sunday night, just northeast of the windwards. Okay, now watch what happens. East of the Bahamas. See the Bahamas in here? See that? That's it. So that's where the GFS, the main run thinks that the 90L is at. Next week, September 1st, essentially, right? So that's a week and a couple days, and then you can see it gets picked up by that trough and it takes off to the north and east. Let me back up. So that's where it thinks it is, Bahamas, east of there. Look what's happening here. You see these waves coming off of Africa? Watch those. You got one, here comes two behind it. You see that? One here in the windwards by September 6th, and you see the other one out in the open Atlantic. So bottom line, what's happening here is the models are waking up. The tropics are basically waking up. The MJO, the Madden-Julian oscillation, is becoming in a favorable area for lift in this area. So it does look like things are going to change just a little bit. All right, now that was one run of the GFS model. I want to show you the ensembles. This is like 30 runs of the GFS, right? This is the one that you see because it just shows you the main run, right? Where things are going to be. This one gives us an idea of what all the other runs plus that one are thinking. So let's go out to this weekend. And some have it here. There you go. Some's got a strong one behind it. Let's go out to, this is the 1st of September. And don't pay attention to that. I know that's scary. But then you see this, you see this, you see this, you see this. So each one of these essentially is another run of the models. And so I'm going to keep going further out here. And look what happens. This is about the 4th or 5th of September. Yeah, there's lower pressures obviously in the Gulf, but you see all of this out here. It's a bunch of different runs of the GFS seeing a bunch of weakness, lower pressures east of the United States. That's really good news because it doesn't mean it could happen. But if you see all these pressures lowering here, it kind of it's sniffing out that it may be turning and storms may recurve before they can get to the United States. So to me, when I see that, I don't look at any of these individually, right? Don't do that because again, this is multiple runs of the GFS. You don't want to look at it like that. Let me make this bigger here for you. But what that tells me is that there's going to be some weakness in here, and that's going to open the door. If you live in the Northeast, you know that there's been some cooler weather, well, just shots of it all summer long up there. Those are troughs sitting in the eastern half of the United States, and then it'll back off, and it'll come back, and back off, and come back. That's going to continue, and that's going to open the door for some of these to recurve, okay? So, look, that's the GFS ensembles. Let's go to the regular run of the European model. Very kind of similar setup here. Let's go out to the end of this week. It's got something here east of the islands, okay? Not much at all. And then you can see as we go into the end of the month, there's the Bahamas, okay? There's where it's got that system. Very, very similar to what the GFS says. And then look what it's doing. It's got two waves out here. One in the Central Atlantic, one coming off of Africa. Let's keep going. It's got a leading one that it's not doing too much with, and it's got a bigger one that's the back one that's coming. All right, so both the GFS and the European sniffing something similar. Here we go. Look at the European. All right, so here's where we are now. Let's go out through the end of the weekend. There we go, Sunday night. There it is. That's 90L, okay? Here's the second one coming off of Africa. Where's the third one? See it right there? So now remember, this is about 30 runs of the model, and they're putting all these on the map at the same time. So there's not going to be this many lows all over the place. But if you look at the trend here, look what happens. You see this area east of the United States? Yeah, a couple try and come under. But look at all this off the East Coast that's lower pressure. Storm could be here, could be here, could be here. This one's trying to follow. Look at all of this back here. Same setup. It's kind of smelling it, right? And then look what it does. Look at this wave off of Africa here. When 90L gets up there and recurves, if it does, it's going to weaken the ridge that's sitting out here, and that's going to open the door for other storms to follow and recurve. So here we go into September 4th, going to the 5th. Look at all these lower pressures. Look how far north they are. Look at the Windward Islands here, the Northeast Islands here. Most of these storms are well north of that. That is a good sign for the United States to avoid storms. Now, you see some of the model runs are back here in the Gulf, some coming towards Florida. Obviously not the main ones. Again, this is the main one, which has two out here and one that recurves and moves off to the northeast. So, having said all that, I think we're in a good position at this point. But look, this is going to change. We're talking a week and a half, 2 weeks out. So, the bottom line, that's why I try to show you those ensemble models. The bottom line is that things are going to start to wake up, and we're going to start to see more storms out there. All right, now real fast, I do want to show you, if you are watching locally, let me get it back here to our local weather because I want to show you what's going on here. We've got a frontal boundary installed to our north. All right, you can see the winds are mid-level winds are moving from west to east. You see these little arrows down here? These are our surface. We have the surface wind from the east. So that gives us those late day showers and storms. You see them forming over here on the East Coast, and then they'll push over here towards us. That's going to continue. Meanwhile, all of this is going to slide southward. And so you see these waves of clouds and rain, they're going to be pushing over us, especially by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I think Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday more than anything else. But bottom line is, clouds are going to increase, rain chances are going to increase as this whole thing here kind of sinks southward. You can see the moisture. Look at the moisture across the deep south, and then look south of Cuba. Two areas of high moisture content. This is this Wednesday. See, you're already starting to come together. But look, Thursday, Friday, into Saturday and Sunday. Man, oh man, they really come together. That to me looks like a pretty decent chance for rain on the upcoming weekend. And what's going to happen with this is we'll probably end up with some heavier downpours as well too as that happens. So some minor flooding can't be ruled out, I think, by the time it gets to the weekend. As a result, the rain chances are going up. You can see, I think 60% for tomorrow is kind of high. 50% tomorrow, 60 to 70 by Wednesday. Thursday, Friday up to a good 70%, and then 80% for both Saturday and Sunday. Now, more clouds means less heat, right? Less sunshine, so we'll take that. So we're going to go lower 90s, lower to mid 90s next couple days. I think 93, but then down to struggling to get to 90, 91 by the weekend. So that is the actual good side of dealing with all of that heat. There's your 7-day forecast, and you can see those numbers coming down a little bit. And I think Monday still looks a little bit on the soggy side. Now, I think the best chance for rain will be in the afternoons and the evenings. So at the mornings, this upcoming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday look a little bit on the drier side. Okay, guys, that's it. Hope you have a great Thursday. Jeez.
Oh, I wish. Aww.
You know, I worked yesterday, Sunday night. Natalie worked Saturday night. We're filling in for Tyler. He's out. So, I mean, I don't know about you, but I am all off.
I'm so thrown off.
Today's Monday, right?
That's what I hear.
I'm just going to go with it. You know, just go. Just act like you know. That's all it is. Monday is it. Today's Monday. Tomorrow's going to be 93. It's going to be Tuesday all day long tomorrow. But yeah, so you can see that rain chance coming up. And one good thing is, look, we could use a little bit of the rain in some areas, and we could use to get rid of some of that heat. Okay, guys, that's it. 10 Tampa Bay at 5 o'clock is coming up. We'll have the latest on that. I'll show you the latest model runs coming out on Invest90 if we get any